that's been discussed at length over these past couple of days is, are you a glory hunter? Are you someone who only supports a team because they are winning? Are you one of those fake fans? Are you a fair weather fan? Right? Let me know in the comments if you feel that you, after listening to this video and seeing the definition and all of that kind of good stuff, let me know if you would be considered a fair weather fan. Now, take a look at this video, because this video, obviously, this is the clip that's kind of doing the rounds, on Twitter today. And obviously, I saw it late last night, and I said, "Yo, I didn't really think that people would latch onto it, but they seemingly have." So take a look at this. This is, I think, Tom Garrett. I don't know who the other gentleman is and the other people involved within the video, but take a look at this and kind of let me know your thoughts once you've seen this.
You have no connection to that club. You just chose them because they've won loads of things and they're like, yeah, great, they're going to win things. It doesn't mean anything to you.
But you're not with me on that train. That 2-hour train I go every week. You're not with me.
So what? That doesn't matter.
Even after I lost, I'm still there.
He's putting in the commitment to travel all the way from London up to Manchester to go and watch the games.
More
Obviously, he feels connected to them
to
games.
go and watch a successful team.
From when, though?
From his whole life. Are we really going to do this? Well,
No, but hold on,
Man United, we finished seventh a few times.
Would you travel those 2 hours for, like,
I'd rather
to go see
him follow his dad in supporting United than saying when he grew up, Chelsea was the better team, so all of a sudden I'm supporting Chelsea. I say locals, like...
I grew up in Kent supporting Palace. My dad was from Croydon. Since moving to South London, I feel way more of an affiliation to Palace, because you're in the area. It is. I'm not saying.
Where did you grow up?
London.
Where?
East London.
Yeah, I promise you, mate, if you followed West Ham, whether you went to the games or not, that Conference League win would have meant 100 times more to you growing up in East London, around the area, than Man United winning the Champions League, I promise. So that's all it is. I actually don't care. Like, if you can support whoever you want, that's completely fine. It's me, I actually find it sad that you don't have.
Okay, so you've seen the video, you've watched the clip. Now, I'll leave a link to the full actual video of this, right? Because ultimately, what I don't want is to almost take, obviously, there's context, I guess, to everything, right? You see a clip and you think, oh my goodness, but you don't know what they were talking about before. You don't know what they were talking about afterwards. You don't even know, heck, he could have even explained himself, straight after this clip that obviously you guys have obviously watched. So I don't want to almost like vilify him, do you know what I mean, without doing any level of due diligence. Now, I've obviously watched the full video of this. I'll leave that in the link below so you guys can watch it. You can decide for yourselves whether you care or don't care. It's totally up to you after watching it. Here is the definition of a glory hunter, right? Now, obviously, it's not really in the Oxford Dictionary, but, they've got a definition here. A glory hunter in football is a derogatory term for a fan who supports a successful team solely because they win trophies and play well, rather than due to local, family, or long-term loyalty. They are often seen as fair weather fans who may abandon a team if they stop winning. Here's some characteristics and context obviously include a lack of loyalty. They switch teams or pick a new team based on who is currently dominant. No local connection, often used to describe someone supporting a top team from their home city, bypassing local teams that may be struggling. Bandwagoning, they latch onto teams enjoying immense success, often after that success has already started. And this is obviously a contrast with true fans. Traditionalists often use this term to criticize fans who do not endure the hardship of supporting a struggling team, focusing only on the glory. The term is often applied to modern international supporters who choose to follow elite teams, often ignoring the local club culture traditional in the UK and in Europe. So I guess you could probably say, heck, if I decided to support, I don't know, Spartak Moscow, right? Just because, I don't know, they've won the last 10 titles or whatever, and they've had some like wonderful players and right? I guess that would be almost kind of what they're looking at. Whether that's how he was looking at it, I don't know. Again, I'll let you guys watch the full video. You can then judge it, as you kind of see fit. But when we're talking about glory hunters and stuff like that, I would call myself a glory hunter in basketball, 100%. Okay, what? You think I was supporting the Golden State Warriors? Who the hell were they? Prior to whenever they were fought, I don't even know. I don't know anything about their history prior to all it. Like, I know a little bit. That if I really sat down and I did like maybe a little bit more research, I would find out a bit more, right? but I know enough. I know enough to be able to know who the team is, what the franchise is, the players, previous players, and blah blah blah. Cool. But that's just more because I like sports, so I have a little bit more knowledge, I guess, than the average individual, right? I know a lot of the players from the NBA. I know who they are. If I saw them walking down the street, I'll be like, oh my God, it's that kind of vibe, right? Prior to the Golden State Warriors, I would say the last team that I supported in basketball, like really like, yo, that's my team, was probably the Lakers. I'll be honest, it was probably the Lakers. Shaq and Kobe. Again, why the Lakers? Cultural references, music, TV series, movies. The Lakers is always reference. Obviously, in the interim between the Lakers and the Golden State, of course, LeBron James, but it was just LeBron James. They didn't really care about what he was doing for the Miami Heat. They didn't really care about what he was doing for Cleveland. Like, it was LeBron James, right? That was he was obviously, he is the, I guess, one of the legends, obviously, of basketball. So he himself, obviously, the teams he played for, they get noticed. Of course they do, because they're successful, but nowhere near to the degree of obviously LeBron James. I pick Golden State Warriors because I don't know. I've always just had this kind of thing. I just never, if there's one guy or one team that's like, oh, yo, that's the team that, yo, they got the star play, that's whatever. I'm always got to pick the other. I don't know why. You know me. I've always got to go against the grain in some way, shape, or form. So I then pick that other team because I'm just like, yeah, they're being successful, but why are they being successful? Again, do a little bit of research, check how they play, realize they got Steph Curry, best shooter ever in the NBA history. I like Steph Curry. I fucks with him. He's my favorite player. I like him more than I like LeBron because I just like what he does. I like what he is. He reminds me of Messi in terms of, you've got this talent. Obviously, Messi got more than one talent, but he's got this thing about him that you can't stop it. And it just felt to me like Messi. You can't stop what he's on. You could double up, triple up. You could put 5 players. This brother will shoot from anywhere and score, or more than likely score. LeBron James, fantastic player. One of the best players in NBA history. And I'm sure there's people out there who would say he is the best player in NBA history. I'm not going to argue with you. He's just not one of my favorite players. But that obviously doesn't dismiss him as an individual. I say all of this to say is that, yeah, I can admit that in basketball, 100%. What, supporting Chicago Bulls in the 90s? But we wasn't watching basketball in the 90s. Let's not lie, people. We weren't doing, like, in the UK, sorry. We weren't watching it. Show me where the channel that you was watching basketball. Go on, show me Sky, NTL. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, NTL. Show me where you was watching NBA on your TV screens. Legit. No bootleg something or whatever. Someone came around, uncle or something, had 1-2K. No. Show me the legit. If there was, fairs. And again, I'm not even trying to get on to anybody who did, but I just want to know. I never knew that even existed, but cool. It is what it is, right? So cultural references have almost made me support this kind of team, right? So the Bulls, Michael Jordan being who he is, his trainers, I still wear some of his trainers till today, blah, blah, blah. And then obviously later on, then as I've gotten older and understood the game of basketball a bit more, had more access to watching basketball, I've then obviously decided, no, I kind of like the Golden State Warriors, but I'm not going to lie, I only really chose them because they were winning. And they had just someone coincidentally who I just thought was this alien, on the court kind of thing. So cool, the two went hand in hand, we kind of go. And I feel that in football, that's almost like how it goes for some people. Not everybody. Some people, as you saw with the definition there in the context, some people it's local, it's family. And obviously, like I said, watch the full video to really get context, whether he provides it or not, or whether you feel he provides it or not. But I don't know if he was coming from that angle of sorry, I don't want to say he was coming from that angle of, oh yeah, because you support such and such, then, and they were winning and blah, blah, blah. Like there's something wrong with that. I don't feel like he was coming from that kind of angle. To me, it sounded more like ownership. Own the fact that you're a glory hunting fan for whatever reason. But obviously, as we saw with the definition there, and I'll bring it back up so you guys can obviously see it, they are often, last line, or last sentence, should I say, they are often seen as fair weather fans who may abandon a team if they stop winning. So if a team's not doing well and you still support them, are you still considered a glory hunter? Now, obviously, I thought all of this got left in like year 6, year 7. I push it to year 8. That's when I can kind of remember. Do you get what I'm saying? I started secondary school in 03. So I'm just trying to think, like year 8, yeah, but I can't really remember Too Tough having Glory Hunter. Maybe amongst some people, potentially, and again, might just be just in terms of like the years and stuff like that. So fair enough, but I don't really feel like that was something that was kind of going on during that kind of period of time. But it might have been, again, I'm not going to dismiss and say it wasn't completely going on, but yeah, I just feel like we're still 2026 and we're still talking about Glory Hunters. Like, it doesn't even matter. Did you get what I'm saying? Again, and this is why I wanted to stress, I don't know if that whole conversation was just more about him trying to get the young man from East London, and he supports Manchester United. Was it about ownership and the fact that the young man was denying the fact that he is a glory or was a glory hunter? Again, I need to also try and find out when we're talking about glory hunter, as it says there in terms of the definition of a glory hunter, are you still a glory hunter if you support that team and you're not from there? Even though you supported them, let's just say because they were successful, if you still support them, are you still a glory hunter? Because the team ain't successful anymore, but you still support them. Surely you would just go to another team, or yeah, you just like another team, and then maybe that's the team that you then kind of support. I don't really know. I feel like in America, I feel like you can kind of do that. I'm not saying that as a fact, but I do see quite a lot of Americans, even celebrities more so. I'll see them like they like this team, they like that team, and this, that, and the third, and whatever. Obviously, they have their hardcore fan base. Let me not lie. Let me definitely. So no one kills me. I'm not saying they don't have like hardcore fan bases and whatever. And yes, just like you would have here in the UK and everywhere across Europe. But again, just like anywhere, you will have people who just support because of the fact that the team is successful. They've got a player that they really like, and they're following that player. Look at all the Ronaldo fans, people who support these people who follow Ronaldo everywhere from England to Spain to Italy. Now Donny's in freaking Saudi Arabia, and there's people who have followed him there to be like, yo, they're wearing Al Nassr shirts and thinking, what? Oh, that's dead. Do you know what I'm saying? Ronaldo left time ago. If you're a Man United supporter, what, you follow him to Juve, you follow him to Madrid, you follow him to Saudi? I'm not doing that. But some people do that. And I don't feel like there's a problem with that. So I'm trying to figure out, is it just more about the ownership behind it? If you're a glory hunter, and again, also need to specify, are you still a glory hunter if you support a team that's not successful? Can you still be that? For me, no. I can understand from the beginning if a kid in the last 10 years, right? Cool, my son is 6 years old. If my son decided, maybe not actually, because he's 6 now. So and depending on what Manchester City kind of do over the next, would I say 3 to 4 years, but we'll use him anyway, right? He's 6 years of age. If he said, I'm supporting Manchester City because they've been the best team of the last decade, right? And he continues to support them. If they don't win another Premier League title for the next like 20 years, is he a glory hunter? I could say, yeah, no, you were a glory hunter, but you still support them. And they haven't won in time, and they've not been successful in time. They've been kind of shit. I don't know if you're still a glory hunter. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you're now, to me, what I would deem to be a fan. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, you're kind of a fan. You're a supporter now. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you've been through the hardships. So if you've then been through those hardships with that team, because that's what local people like to say, and starting people who go to games regularly, that's their kind of, would I say, rebuttal to all of this, is that, yeah, but you haven't been there, you haven't been at the games, and you don't support us when we're doing bad, and red hair and all. Yeah, okay. So if I now do that, does that erase me being a glory hunter? Do you get what I'm saying? And I think this whole, you're local, and I get it. He's right about one thing, that there is a connection when you are a local, no matter what the team, whether it's Manchester United, Crystal Palace, whoever, Birmingham, whatever. I don't know why I said Birmingham as if it's Birmingham. So it really does not matter, right? Kind of thing, who you should kind of support. I hate this lazy narrative. The same people who say support your local are the same people who live in Liverpool, live in Manchester, and don't support their local. So you live in Liverpool, why don't you support Tranmere? Why don't you support another local team in Liverpool? Why not them? Why does it have to be Liverpool? Why does it have to be Manchester United? Why does it have to be Manchester City? Why does it have to be whatever? London, I feel like, is a lot more difficult, because it's like, you could really just support anybody in London. It's London. If I chose Arsenal, I choose Arsenal. If I choose Chelsea, I choose Chelsea. It's London. We've got the most amount of teams in the UK. So we could choose anybody. So doing that kind of rhetoric, that to me, that's very weak. Like, you can't talk to someone from London and say, why don't you support your local? Brother, I'm from London. I'm saying, like, I'm from London. There's bare teams here. I don't need to live in North London to support Arsenal. Bro, if I live in West London, South London, I support Arsenal. Do you know what I'm saying? If I live in North London, I can support Palace. Like, forget all of that. You know what I'm saying? Miss me with that. We've got too many teams around here. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, London is an entire place, like, where regardless of the fact that it's sectored off, north, south, east, and west, you could still do whatever, right? Don't let anybody tell you any different. And that's kind of my thing, and that's kind of my kind of, what I say, angle and take, I guess, behind it is just, yeah, like, what makes you a glory hunter and what keeps you a glory hunter? Because no one obviously success, unless you're Barcelona, Real Madrid, no one's really success, or Bayern Munich, should I say, no one's that successful throughout their entire lifetimes. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you're just not going to be. So I just want to know, does it expire? Is there an expiry date? Was Tom trying to get at the ownership of being a glory hunter? Because then I'd say majority of fans would be considered a glory hunter. Like, technically speaking, if you're a local, but you supported Liverpool over Tranmere, is it because Liverpool are the bigger team and they were successful in the 70s and 80s? Technically, wouldn't you be a glory hunter first and a local second? I don't know. I don't know. Like, I want to know. I really, really want to know. So I want your thoughts in the comment section. Like, how do you people say, you people? That's so rude. How does everyone see it in the comment section, right? Explain to me if you think you yourself, when you've seen the definition, you've heard what Tom has had to say, would you be considered a glory hunter? I would love to know everyone's thoughts. I really, really would. But let me know let me know in the comment section, people. I think this one's going to be an interesting one because I feel like this applies to everybody. This ain't even one of them. Yeah, this actually applies to everybody when you actually look at the real definition and stuff like that, and you really dig deep behind it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, people. I will catch you very, very soon. Peace.